Hello, my name is Brandon Jewell with the Career Technical Education Foundation, and I am here with Sonu Chandi from the Chandi Hospitality Group. Welcome, Sonu.
Thank you for having me, Brandon.
You are the owner of Chandi Hospitality Group. Tell us what Chandi Hospitality Group is and what you do as the owner.
We own, operate, and develop restaurants and real estate throughout North Bay.
So what restaurants fall under the Chandi Hospitality Group?
We started with the Mountain Mike's Pizza in Rohnert Park with the one restaurant. And now Mountain Mike's Pizza has grown to 13 restaurants. And then we've had a few other restaurants in between, which is concepts like BB's Burger Bar, the County Bench. We've had Stout Brothers since 2013, which is an Irish pub. And we also developed Bollywood Bar and Clay Oven, which opened almost 2 years ago. And then we have Beer Baron Bar and Kitchen.
You named a few of my favorites here in Santa Rosa.
Awesome. I know you support us, and we appreciate that.
So, Sonu, tell us about the path that you took to become the owner of Chandi Hospitality Group.
Yes, path, I think entrepreneurship is in our family. We almost have this leap of faith that we're always willing to take to do something new and be willing to accept a change. And that's, I think, is the key attribute you have to have as an entrepreneur. It gets very challenging at times, but that's kind of lives in the family. Our grandfather was a farmer. My dad was a small dispensary doctor in India. And then when he moved here, he started working at a restaurant in around 1996. And then when we moved by the 2000, he was managing a restaurant, even though it was challenging for him to communicate in English, but he took the initiative and became a manager. So that was awesome to see. I think in our family it lives, and so that's where we have started. We started with one restaurant, Mountain Mike's Pizza in Rohnert Park, and then continued to develop that over the last, it's going to be 12 years in a couple of months. Then we went on to become the development agent for Mountain Mike's Pizza, which is very unique opportunity we had. So we do that as well. We are the developer, we're the franchisor partner for the Mountain Mike's Pizza, one of the 5 development agent. So that's most of my time gets invested in is that position.
And so that means that you help others open up Mountain Mike's?
Yes, many times. So we've had managers who have worked for us over the years, and they have become owners. And that's been really nice to see. So what we develop restaurants, we have been able to build a lot of knowledge of whole North Bay on how real estate market is, and be able to find the right locations, go in the right location, develop it, have the whole team to build it properly, build it on a budget so that we can make money as a business for doing that. And we bring in new franchisees once it's many times to build a new one, or most of the time once it's established, so they feel comfortable coming in the business.
So with that, on top of all of the restaurants that you have, it sounds like it's a lot of work, and I'm assuming that you're busy all the time. So you must enjoy what you do in order to keep going and to keep growing and starting new restaurants. Will you talk about that a little bit? Like, what is it about the Chandi Hospitality Group that you really just enjoy doing that?
Yes. I think it's passion to do something bigger than us is the drive behind it. Many times, like I said before, it's a lot of hard work on the whole family, because when you're doing these multiple, like I mentioned originally, with some of the concepts, it's been trial and error in downtown Santa Rosa, which could be very expensive. But for us, it's being able to look at a long-term vision that Chandi Hospitality will is building something very special. Having an access to data throughout North Bay. Our business is literally starts from Marin County, goes all the way up to Humboldt County. We opened our Eureka location in the middle of pandemic, which was a huge achievement for my company and my team. And so it is, I think it's that continue to challenge ourselves and then rely on our team. I think building the right team around us is how we can continue to grow as a company.
So let's talk about the team aspect for a bit. So I assume with all those restaurants, you must have a large staff that works under you. For those
Yes.
who are looking at careers in hospitality, what are some of the skills and maybe training or certificates that one would need in order to be successful?
Soft skills like, hey, being a good communicator. I think that's the most, whether any business you are in, being able to read, write, and communicate what you're thinking and being able to, disseminate with your team is the key component that we always look for. Manage dedication, passion and dedication, people who care what they're doing. And we are thankful for many, many team members who work hard day in and day out and who have the ambition to grow like we do. Those are the people succeed in restaurant. But it is important that the education is doing those programs that are focusing on communication. Sometimes soft skills like restaurants like Bollywood needs those server education. But those skills really only come when you work in the industry. Mm-hmm. So anybody, I feel like if you work in the restaurant industry, who's in the educational world out there, restaurants teach you a lot of multitasking abilities, which are really good and can live with you for years to come.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have positions available for 16, 17, 18-year-olds?
Yes, we do. A lot of time pizza, specifically Mountain Mike's Pizza or any other pizza restaurants, are a way for part-time students to be able to get started. They can be making pizzas. They're doing cashier job. Those two positions really start well for those individuals. You still get to learn all the skills of like I mentioned, communication. You're learning how to make pizzas, and you're learning the business on how it runs day to day. So yes, you can work at the age of 16. It gets a little bit more challenging at the full service restaurant at the younger age, but still you can have busser positions that are available. And if you're passionate about making food, you can work in the kitchen at the age of 16, as long as you're willing to work in the evenings and late hours. And sometimes that's hard for students, but we have seen students work at that age.
So as my final question, Sonu, I want to get some advice from you. The students are kind of considering which careers they're going to go into it and whatever path that they need to take in order to get there. So maybe you can give one piece of advice to these students.
Right now, it's one of the most challenging times in our history. I will say this, that restaurants are always going to be in business, even though there's been a lot of talk, hey, what's happening in the restaurant industry? Because if you make a meal at home, you can never make it for the price and the quality that you can get at a restaurant, and then the time that you invested is well above it. So in restaurant industry, if you're interested and you had the passion before, I would encourage you to keep that passion. You still can work in the restaurant industry. The industry will change. I think the restaurants that have the right price point, have the right quality product, and they're reaching the right target audience will still survive and thrive. An example is Mountain Mike's Pizza is doing it right in the middle of it in pandemic. Mm-hmm. And we're making certain changes at both Bollywood, Beer Baron, and to be sustainable in future.
Great. Well, I want to thank you, Sonu, for taking the time to speak with us today and share your experience and also share what it takes to be successful in the hospitality industry. So we really appreciate you being here, and thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for having me. and I wish everyone good luck in their education achievements.